Happy Thursday, Facebook friends. Welcome back to Facebook. I'm Angie Garza, Director of Professional Learning and Educational Services at ROE 47, serving Lee, Ogle, and Whiteside counties. And if you're joining us back here this fine Thursday in the month of November, you'll know that it's time for another edition of Teacher Talk. And today's Teacher Talk takes us back to some of our earlier conversations in the month of October, talking about college and career readiness, talking about our pathways for students to chart the course to their futures. We're talking about Team-Based Challenge Day here at ROE 47, and that is upcoming on Friday, November 14th at Sauk Valley Community College. So we're going to be taking an inside sneak peek at Team-Based Challenge Day 2025 with our friends who are no stranger to our Teacher Talk platform. Stacy and Shanda and Heather are with us from our Pathways team, and we have a very special guest, Jen Grobe, who's going to be kind of highlighting that community focus on that Team-Based Challenge Day. So we're excited for these conversations. But as we get started, I'm going to say a good morning, good November morning welcome to my friend, colleague, and co-host, Ms. Stacy Dingus. Stacy, good morning, Team-Based Challenge Day. This is the second year for this wonderful event at Sauk Valley Community College. So I'm excited to talk to our friends and colleagues here this morning to find out a little bit more about what's in store in the 2025 rendition of this event.
Yeah, we talk often on Teacher Talks about career exploration and pathways and team-based challenge and giving students real-world experiences. Something that I feel really strongly about is I have two teenagers, one in college, one in high school, and we constantly are having the question about what are you going to do? And what a great way to give students real-world experience before they actually step out into the big, scary world and have to make a decision. So a good conversation. We have it often on here, Angie, and I'm ready to get going.
As we kick off our conversations here this morning, I'm going to go back to my earlier comment. We have three of our very fine pathway navigators at ROA 47 who are on this call this morning, who are no strangers to our Teacher Talk platform. So Stacy, in addition to being my friend, colleague, and co-host, is also a pathway navigator working with Amboy Schools. But we also have with us Shanda McDonald and Heather Waniger, as well as Jen Grobe. So we're going to give them a moment to reintroduce themselves to our listening audience and tell a little bit more about their role and involvement, especially in this Team-Based Challenge Day, which will be happening on Friday, November 14th at Sauk Valley Community College. So Shanda, we'll start with you, and then we'll go to Heather, and then Jen will have you introduce yourself.
Again, my name is Shanda McDonald. I'm Pathway Navigator for ROE 47. I work with many districts in Lee, Ogle, Whiteside County, a couple in Carroll and one in Bureau County as well, just helping and supporting the schools in their pathway work.
Good morning. My name is Heather Waniger. I also am a Pathway Navigator at ROE 47, and my role is primarily working with Rock Falls and Sterling, and being Shanda's partner in crime in all of this.
Good morning. My name is Jen Grobe, and I am the Nursing Program Director at CGH Medical Center. And I work with our students for a number of pathways. I work with all sorts of districts through the WAC program and through another couple of programs that we do here. And I have been really blessed to be part of the Pathways discussion for the last 4 years. It's hard to believe it's been that long.
Shanda, before we get started and talk more about the actual Team-Based Challenge Day, I have mentioned before that we talk about pathways on our Teacher Talks often. Very proud of the work that we have done in the last couple of years, excuse me, and very proud of the idea that pathways is a term that's used almost in all of our schools at different levels. It's not new anymore. Most of our staff understand and know what that means. Can you just give a brief explanation for some of our viewers who might be new to this idea? What exactly is our pathway work? What does that look like in our schools?
I think in the simplest form, pathways are a way for our high school students to try on a career in high school before moving on to post-secondary or the workforce. It gives them that opportunity to be hands-on and really see what that future career might be like for them.
So, as part of this kind of work around pathways, we have several now in our Lee Ogle County service area. We have agriculture, manufacturing, health sciences, education, and computer science. There are a variety of different moving pieces within that work. So, Heather, as we kind of orient ourselves in understanding the significance of this team-based challenge day that's coming up, can you talk with us a little bit about the components that a student must complete in order to earn a pathway endorsement?
Just as Shanda said, when we talk about having students try on an experience, there's some pieces of this that are specifically laid out so students get that opportunity to really see what that's like. So we ask schools to kind of start looking at, even as early as their 8th graders, middle school students, of doing some career exploration. This is a wide range of just giving students the knowledge of all of the opportunities and what's out there so that students can start whittling down what they think might be a future goal of theirs, and maybe also whittling out what's not something that they're interested in doing. So to earn an endorsement, they have to have 2 career exploration activities. Those are things that are working and interacting with mentors or people from the profession. So they could go listen to somebody speak that is part of that profession. Like in health sciences, we would ask Jen Grobe for that assist. Students could interview somebody from the profession. They can do all different types of activities to meet that requirement. Then we ask for students to earn 6 hours of post-secondary credit in order for them to have their coursework specific to the area in which they're earning an endorsement. So a student that is looking to get an education endorsement, their post-secondary credit would need to be in the area of education, not in just a broad topic, so that it specifically gives them that opportunity to have coursework in that career area that they're interested in. And then they get the opportunity, the best part of the 60-hour experience, they get the opportunity to go out and try it on, see what it's really like. We assume what nurses do. We assume what medical professionals do because we go into that medical professional space as patients. But the reality is it is very different behind the scenes and what goes on when we're not in the doctor's office. And so it gives students an opportunity to see what that looks like. And that's in all of those different realms of endorsements. Students really get to try it on. And then the other opportunity that they have is that they have to do 2 team-based challenges, which is what we're here to talk about today. And so those team-based challenges gives them an opportunity to work with a mentor, somebody other than their teacher. And then they do those challenges to give them a real experience of what that looks like. And that's what this team-based challenge is about.
Shanda, Heather did a great job explaining the components to receive a pathway endorsement, and we've thrown out the term team-based challenge, and Heather briefly kind of touched on what that is. Can you go into more depth exactly on what is a team-based challenge? We are promoting the team-based challenge day, which we'll go into detail in a little bit about, but the idea of a team-based challenge, why are students doing it? What is the purpose of it? Why is it important that we have business and industry involved in this particular component of the pathway endorsement?
Team-based challenges are an opportunity for students to work together and solve an authentic problem in a specific career field. Students get to be hands-on in this opportunity, and they get to work with an outside mentor from that career field. For example, the health science students at the Whiteside Area Career Center do 1 team-based challenge a year. Jen Grobe actually works as their outside mentor. So those students work together on solving problems like how to provide engaging activities for residents and how to increase collaboration between veteran nurses and student nurses. And the students work together. They get opportunity to be hands-on and they're researching together. They're building their communication skills. They're building their team working skills, their organizational skills, all to do these team-based challenges. They work in small groups of 3 to 4 students roughly. And then at the end, when they're all done researching and coming up with solutions to this authentic real world problem, they get to present their findings to their mentor. And then the mentor gets to provide that feedback for them. And throughout the process, the mentor is there to help them. So if they get stuck along the way while they're working on that team-based challenge, they get to talk with the mentor and they get to bounce ideas off of her or him. So it's a really important part of their learning throughout this endorsement process, because they're working on those soft skills that we often talk about. So the team-based challenge is kind of building those skills for them. Team-based Challenge Day is just a great opportunity for us to help our area schools provide an opportunity to get a team-based challenge done. The students, I believe Heather mentioned that they need 2 in order to earn their endorsement. So we host that team-based challenge day just to provide the schools that opportunity to get 1 done for those students.
Shanda, I love the fact that as a part of our work, we are taking this regional approach to things like career exploration and our team-based challenge day and celebrating those students in the spring who earn their endorsement. I think it does a lot to alleviate some of the stress of trying to get that implemented in each school building. And it also provides this unique opportunity to bring people together throughout the year, which I think is pretty powerful. So speaking of the event, once again, Heather, this is the second year that we've done this. It was well received in year 1. We've made growth and improvements for year 2. We're super excited. So can you talk a little bit more in depth or in detail about this particular event and who might attend? If I'm a student walking onto Stock Valley Community College campus on Friday, November 14th, what can I expect? What will the day be like? And who might I interact and engage with?
We're really excited to be able to offer this for our second year. The day is a day where they will really be working with other students from other schools that are interested in the same career path that they're interested in. So the Team-Based Challenge Day is an opportunity for them to come out. We'll start whole group, kind of give an overview of what the day looks like, set some expectations for the day. And then they break off into their areas in which they are earning their endorsements. So we will have IT, education, ag, health science, and manufacturing out there for the day. And we break off into those groups, and then they are partnered with their mentor. So I'm going to use Jen because she's here today. She's going to get real tired of us saying her name today. But Jen is going to be out there working with our health science students. So schools that are engaged in the pathway work can bring out students. We traditionally see them be juniors and seniors. There are a few schools that might bring out sophomores that are prepared to do a team-based challenge. They will be presented with the authentic problem. Shanda mentioned last year or in previous times, they've talked about doing activities for residents in nursing homes. And that's a real life, real world problem that somebody that is going into the healthcare field would have to deal with. So they're presented with that kind of authentic problem specific to their area. So education would be getting an education type authentic problem. And then they're going to work with that mentor throughout the day. How would they solve that problem? Give some feedback from their mentor. And then they're going to continue to work on that process of how would I, as a group of students, based off of what I've experienced in my career exploration, in my classes, what I know about the field, work in that group to solve that problem. And then at the end of the day, they present what they have found, what they have come up with, and what they decided to the entire group. They get some feedback from the mentors, and then they're off and ready, and they've earned one of their team-based challenges.
I'm happy to say that Sauk Valley Community College has been with us from the very beginning of this pathway work. We have really kind of walked hand in hand in this work as far as implementing it with our schools, working with Sauk constantly. They have been a huge proponent of this. So with that being said, I want to toss it over to Jen for a second. Tell us a little bit about your experience being a mentor in the Team-Based Challenge Day last year. How did it go? What were your takeaways?
Thanks, Stacy. I really enjoyed being a mentor. I find that I'm a mentor for a number of our students as they come through here, whether it be for an individual job shadow or they're part of a CNA class. So being able to do this for a large group was just right up my alley. And I enjoyed meeting all of the students and their counselors and their teachers as they came through. And I was really able to help the students see the benefit of their role in healthcare and also look at the barriers for patients in our area, in the Sauk Valley area, as well as beyond. So we discussed access to healthcare, some of the stigmas associated with some diagnoses. The students were able to point that out from their own experience, as well as what they see in their community. We talked about resources that they might take for granted or that they might not be able to see or have to travel far away for those resources. And any other topic that came up. They were really a great group of students that were really engaged. Talking with them through their projects and helping guide them through the process is also really helpful for me. I'm able to bring the authentic problem to our group and say, hey, here's what we're seeing here and now, right here in healthcare, and then watch their minds solve the problems from a different perspective than my colleagues and I have. I've been doing this for a long time, so having someone with fresh eyes and fresh ideas come through is really helpful to everyone, to our patients, to our family members, to our community. And then they get to be in the classroom in a safe place, but they're practicing the skills they're going to see when they're employed. So the best part about all this is we're going to see our healthcare students come into the workforce, and they're going to need to work in small groups. They're going to need to solve problems every day, and they're going to need to be able to do it quickly, efficiently, and using resources that they have on hand, but also find a mentor that can help them guide through that next step. So we really see these authentic problems as preparing our future leaders at the bedside, whether that be nursing or respiratory therapy or in our radiology department. We see these students coming through for healthcare and practicing what they'll be doing down the road.
Jen, that is so powerful to hear from you because I think all of us engage in this work because we know it's good for students and we know that it's good for our communities and for workforce development. But for as I kind of sit back and listened to you just kind of share your experience as a mentor, there are so many more ripples and profound impacts to not only the future of our students, but also to our various businesses and industries, our professions, our communities. And so that makes me just feel really wonderful. So thank you for sharing that insight and reflection. We have a saying here in our office. It's on the back of our t-shirts. It says, making the community our classroom. And we are 100% behind that. And this idea of growing our own and meeting those community needs. So I'm curious, if you step outside that mentorship role, but still kind of find yourself situated in your field of nursing and in the healthcare industry, when we say those words about growing our own and making the community our classroom, what does that mean for you as a professional and as a community member, and why, in your opinion, is that so important?
We really get to help the kids find the classes that they might need to take in high school that are going to be helpful for them down the road. So I like this connection early on when we're working with kids in middle school, like we did this past Friday, or when we're talking with students in their rotations here through the WAC program, or they're coming for a job shadow day. I'm able to say, hey, that biology class you're taking now might not feel like it's going to be what you want to do down the road. But here, look at this patient and see this x-ray, or look at this lab result, and you can see what your teachers in the high school are trying to teach you and help bring that forward into their college classes, into their on-the-job preparation, or down the road into their future career, and helping them connect the dots from what is not necessarily as fun to what could be really fun or really helpful or career oriented. That light bulb moment, it makes my day. It is what gets me up in the morning and gets me excited to come to work every day. And we can really see our students make the connection when they're here with the staff. And then they ask them questions like, where did you go to school? And how long did you go to school for? And what classes did you take? So we're always getting our students engaged with our employees right here in the Sauk Valley area. Even if they have to go outside of the area for their classes, then they're able to come back here for summer work, or they're able to come back here for some training, or once they've got their feet wet in that role, if we don't have it available here, then they can come right back here and work once they're done. And that's just been an amazing opportunity. There's not many programs that Sauk Valley Community College doesn't offer. We send the majority of our students in that direction, but if they don't offer it, they're a really great partner for prerequisite courses and other gen eds to get those students a great foundation. And then they have our mentors, or just a friendly face in the Sauk Valley area, to come back here. And then hopefully we get them back here and they can take care of me when I'm old and gray, and they can take care of our family members and in our community.
Well, that highlights a really important part that we haven't spoken about with regards to our pathway endorsement work. And that is this idea of coming home. And that's really what we want to do. We want to build our communities. We want to create a pipeline for our local business and industry. But we want those students who graduate to come back and to have that trusted adult, those relationships, those mentors, those peers who will help guide them through an ever-changing and evolving culture and profession. And so we thank you so much, Jen, for your partnership and your role and involvement in our endorsement work. We so value you and your expertise, and we can't say thank you enough. As we're having a moment to do some reflection and thank yous here, we would like to say a very special thank you to our special guests here this morning on Teacher Talk, Shanda McDonald and Heather Wanager, Pathway Navigators, as well as Jen Grobe, who will be out at the college on Friday, November 14th for our second annual Team-Based Challenge Day, working with our health sciences students. But of course, as was mentioned previously, we will have students from Lee, Ogle, Whiteside counties who will be there engaging in team-based challenges for education, for manufacturing, for health sciences, for computer science. So we're really excited to welcome those students out to campus that day to continue their journey to earn their pathway endorsement and head into their desired career field. As we mentioned earlier, we are making the community our classroom, one career exploration event, one team-based challenge, and one work-based learning experience at a time. Thank you also to you, our viewers, for tuning in this Thursday. We hope that you enjoyed this Teacher Talk here today, highlighting our Team-Based Challenge Day on Friday, November 14th at Sauk Valley Community College. For more information on Team-Based Challenge Day, if you're a student or an educator out there, please contact one of our navigators, Stacy Dingus, Shanda McDonald, or Heather Wanager at the Regional Office of Education. We're happy to give you more information. We hope that as we close out this morning, you have a beautiful rest of your Thursday, an even better Friday, a wonderful fall weekend, and we'll see you right back here next Thursday for another edition of Teacher Talk.